welcome back to my channel. My name is Kayshawn, and thank you so much for clicking on this video today. You already know your girl is back with another story time. Based on the title, you already know what I'm about to talk about. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Double check to make sure your bell notification is on. Thumbs up this video, and make sure you leave a comment before you exit out of this video, okay? If you look in my description box, you will find a link to my membership in case you want exclusive extra videos, my social media information. You can follow me on TikTok and Instagram at Kayshawn with 3 E's. Also, it will be my P.O. box information as well in case you want to send me anything. But y'all already know. Let's hop right into the video. Let's go. All right, y'all. So the story that I'm about to talk about, it's gonna be a little bit more on the serious note. I wasn't gonna tell this story yet, but I figured with the beginning of the school year happening, I know a lot of people are starting high school and starting college. So I just wanted to share my story in case this might prevent something like this from happening to you, and just so that way we could take a little bit more precaution, knowing that like you just never know. So I just thought it would be the perfect time to tell this story time, and y'all always asking me about my college experience anyways. All right, so boom, let me tell y'all. Okay, so as y'all know, I went to college, or if you don't know, I did go to college. I did graduate in 2018 with my psychology degree in criminal justice. So I love school. College was so much fun. Like, honestly, if I can go back, I would, because I made so many new friends. I learned so much. It was just such a good time. Like, I really enjoyed my college experience. But there was a few things that I did not enjoy about my college experience, as I'm sure that we all have our ups and downs about school, right? Okay, so when I went to school in the beginning, my first year, my mom was like, don't worry about rent or anything. We're going to take care of that for the first, for your first time in college. Like, you don't have to get a job, just focus on your studies. We're going to take care of all the bills and everything. So I know a lot of y'all might be like, cool, like I would love that. I wish my parents did that, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, I've been working since I was 16. Like, I always like having my own money. It don't matter if you promised to pay for everything. I still need to make my own money. So although my mom did not want me to get a job, or it's not even necessarily that she didn't want me to, I think she just really wanted me to focus on my studies and pay attention and just focus on school. She didn't care for me to get a job. I still had to get me a job, y'all, because I need my own coins in my pockets. I'm expensive. I gotta get hair, nails, lashes, all that stuff done. And the thing with what my mom was is like, yeah, she gonna pay for the necessities, but all this other glitz and glamour, she ain't paying for that, okay? Like, I gotta pay for this. And I understood that, so I was cool with that. So when you go to college, it's a lot of job opportunities when you go to college, because you got the well, I guess depending on what college you go to, because you can work at the cafeteria, the library, the computer lab. You can work at the front desk for like the dorms. It's like so many different jobs you can work at. Like, college do provide you a lot of opportunities to work. And then especially at my college, depending on which route you took, the job you took could either go, like, you could either get paid and like get a check, or you could put it towards paying off your student loans or your student debt. So if you took $10,000 out of student loans, you could work your debt off, like, to that college. So if you're working at the computer desk or whatever, and instead of you getting a physical check, the money you make, it would just be deducted from what you owe to that school. You get what I'm saying? So it was like a very good program or whatever. Me personally, I was getting that checks in my hand because I didn't have to worry about what I owed to the school or whatever. Like, those was getting paid, so I didn't care about that. So, needless to say, so I was getting my checks, right? So I decided to work at the computer lab, right? This campus had 2 computer labs, one that closed at 10 p.m. and then the second one was 24 hours. And when you work at the computer lab, you basically work at both. Like, you just rotate, you alternate, or whatever, you work at both. So it's like if you wanted to do mornings at like computer lab A, you could, and then if you wanted to still get extra money, you could do overnights at computer lab B. You get what I'm saying? So that's what we gonna call them. It's 2 computer labs, A and B. We worked at both. Majority of the time, I would work at computer lab A, but if I picked up somebody's shift and it's at computer lab B, I could work there too. So, I'm in college. I'm enjoying life. I'm making friends. I got this new job, and I enjoy working at the computer lab because I could just sit there and do my homework all day and not do nothing. It was a very low maintenance job. All I had to do was check in people in the computer lab, and just make sure that the printers had paper in them. So it was a real cool laid back job. It was always 2 of us up there, so we really just sat up there and talked. Like, if we didn't have no homework to do, we would sit up there and just talk to each other all day, right? So you make a lot of friends that way. All right, cool. So one day I'm in computer lab A. I'm with my homegirl. We just sitting up there chit chatting. I ain't had no homework to do. So we just chilling. We cool. Now, like I said, this is a college. So you're going to see different age ranges. It's not high school where you expect everybody in this school to at least be 18 and under as far as who's attending school. This is college. So you have adults that come back to school. You got people that's in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 20s. Like you have a whole variety, okay? If I see somebody older, of course I'm not judging, or it's not abnormal to see somebody that's like an adult here. Like, I mean, we're adults. I mean, we're in our early 20s. It's not normal to see people in their 30, 40, 50 here, because anybody can come back to school, right? So you see everybody. You see all different types of people in college, okay? So, okay, cool. So there is this guy, he walks in or whatever. And a lot of times people walk through the computer lab to get to like other destinations. They might walk through the lab to get down to the library or to get down to another class. Like if it's raining, you can kind of walk through buildings to get to another section, right? So you see people walking in and out daily. That door is always opening, right? So today, this particular day, I see an older man walk in, right? He walks in and it's like he's walking along the windows where the windows is at. So I'm thinking he's going that way. So I just look up, because normally when I hear the door open, I look up anyways, because technically we ain't supposed to have our phones out, and nobody else cared but this one manager there. So like I'll just look up to see if I see him coming in so I can put my phone away. And just naturally, when you hear doors open, you just look up. So when I looked up and I seen him walking, I'm like, oh, okay, like we made eye contact. And then it's like he went from walking straight, and then when I looked up just to see like who came in, he looked at me and he was just like it was just like and then he started walking over to the computer lab. So I didn't think nothing of it, of course, because I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe he lost, maybe he need help, who knows, like I don't know. So he walks over and he say hi to me and my friends. So I'm like, hey, can I help you? Did you need a computer? He's like,
No, I don't need a computer. Do you know where Dunbar is?
now Dunbar is one of the buildings, like the names of one of the buildings that holds classes in there. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like you can go straight, you can follow it out the computer lab, go down to the library, and cross right over. It's that building right across the street. So he's like, he says, okay, thank you, but he's still sitting there. So I'm like, did you need anything else, babe? Like, you good? And he was like,
You guys look good. How old are y'all?
so, we just like, we said our age or whatever, like, and he's like,
Okay, what's y'all major?
now, mind you, we just answering these questions because, to be honest, when you're in college, people ask you this, like, where you from, how old you is, what's your major, what you're studying, what's your like, they ask these type of questions when you're in school. So we wasn't thinking nothing of it. So we telling him his major. I'm like, yeah, I'm psychology, she bio, like we just saying it. So he's just like,
Oh, okay, cool. Like y'all from here?
so I'm like, no, I'm from Detroit. The other girl was from Chicago. So, we just telling him all of that. Mind you, he asking us questions. So every time I was like, well, what about you? He's like,
Man, I always want to come back to school and get my degree. Like, I'm just so happy to be here.
making it seem like he's actually going to the school, right? So I'm just like, oh, okay, what's your degree? And he was like,
I'm still undecided. I'm not sure yet. Like, I'm just trying to get a little bit of taste of everything.
sir, you're like 60 years old. What are you talking about? You not sure yet? Like, you came back to school to still not be sure about what career path you wanted to go into. And like, I'm not trying to judge about people who's not sure about what they want to do with their life, but literally, for real, like I keep saying 60, but this man was like 55 years old, for real. And you coming back to school and you don't know what you want to do. Mind y'all, we gonna call this man Preach, right? I'm calling him Preach because he was one of those older men from like back in the day, like when they go to church, you know how they wear that hat with that brim, whatever it's called, around, and they be having like they nice little suits on. Mind y'all, once again, the hat is a little abnormal for college, but people in suits are not, because it's different programs, and sometimes people are here to be like a spokesperson, or people have presentations they have to present, and you kind of have to dress the part in college. This not high school where you come as you is. Like, these are people careers, so it's not abnormal to see somebody walking around in a suit, a button up, or just like dressier up outfits, but that hat, bro, that was like a literal church hat. So it was just crazy to see him in there. But I'm like, maybe he's just one of those guys that like to dress really nice. People like that. I try not to judge. So I'm gonna call him Preach. So he tell us his name. So we just have a regular conversation. Cool. We don't see nothing wrong with it. So when he was asking us, like, he's like,
Like, what apartments y'all stay in?
I know y'all. I know. I know y'all thinking red flag, but I'm telling y'all, when y'all go to college, for real, everybody asks you what apartments you stay in, or are you living on campus, are you off campus. I ask people that, and I'm not a creep, so it wasn't abnormal. I told him I lived in the center, which were these apartments that I did live in, because a lot of people ask you because, one, they either want to move there, two, they got questions about the place, three, they trying to see if you need a roommate, because people always rented out rooms and stuff, and people just ask. Everybody asks that. That's not a problem in college. They're gonna ask you, you live on campus, you off campus, what apartments? Like, they ask that, right? So again, I'm not thinking nothing wrong. I know he an older guy, but I'm thinking like he coming back to college. Maybe he trying to move back to an apartment. I don't know, y'all. I'm just answering questions, right? Cool. We chit chat for a little bit. He ends up leaving. I didn't necessarily get no bad feeling. Like I said, his little outfit was a little bit off to me, but I'm not getting no bad feeling. I'm straight. He walks away. We go back to talking, right? Cool. So I finish off my shift. I normally do, like I said, if I'm in computer lab A, I normally do morning shifts. Anytime I'm working at computer lab B, I'm doing like late evenings, day shift, like maybe 6 to 9 or 9 to 12, whatever, like that, right? So cool. I get off of work probably at like 2 or something, and I still have to go to class because I will work in between my classes, because the minimum you could do was 2 hours at the computer lab, because they know people got classes. That when you work on campus, they not expecting a whole 8 hour shift from you. It don't work like that because they know you in between classes. So the minimum was 2 hours that you can work. So you can work 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours. It's up to you. I will plan my work schedule around my class schedule. So I'll get off like at 3 and had to probably be at class at like 3:30 because I'm already on campus. So cool, it works out. So I leave, I go to campus, or I go to class or whatever. Cool, that day happens. The next day, mind you, my classes are literally, so the way I had scheduled my classes, I would schedule all my classes either on Tuesdays and Thursdays or Mondays and Wednesdays. I was not the type that wanted to go to school Monday through Thursday, because like I like that break. I like that time off. So if I can finagle it into having all my classes either on Mondays and Wednesdays or Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would do it. I mean, it was a time where I had to take this class and it was on Friday. Like, it was no other way to get around. They had no other, it wasn't available on any other day. So sometimes you do have that run in where you have to go on a different day. But I just didn't appreciate having to get up every day to go to school. Like, I liked my days off. But this one semester, this was the only time, because I took a lot of hard classes, that I would do my schedule on Monday and Wednesday, and I would just work Monday and Wednesday. Like, I would have the Tuesdays and Thursdays off completely just to focus, because I had like 3 hard classes back to back and a lab. So like, I would take Tuesdays and Thursdays off completely. The only time you would probably see me on a Tuesday and on a Thursday is if I picked up a shift, right? So this particular semester, I only worked and went to class on Monday and Wednesday, okay? Nothing Tuesday, nothing Thursday, nothing Friday, right? Cool. So let's say the situation happened on a Monday, right? I leave, I go to class, I go home. Cool. The next day I'm coming to work is on a Wednesday, right? So I go back, I work the same shift on Wednesday, okay? I see Preach coming in. Preach is walking in. So I'm like, okay, cool. Once again, y'all, it's not abnormal to see the same people at the same time on a daily basis, because 9 times out of 10, they got the classes where they getting out around this time at the same time. They come to the library every day. This shit is not abnormal. We're on a campus. So a lot of times when I'm at work, I see the same people in rotation, the same people coming in the doors, cutting through the library, going to class. I see the same people coming in with their snack, getting on the computer, studying. So it's not abnormal. So when I seen Preach again, of course, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Like, maybe his class get out at this time on Mondays and Wednesdays, because that's how my classes is. So maybe he get out of class at the same time on this day, so he coming back to the library, the computer lab. Cool. I'm not thinking of nothing of it. I see Preach again, so I'm like, okay, he's coming over to the desk. Mind you, it's me and my same homegirl, because we work the same shift. So I'm thinking he just making conversation. Y'all know how older people is. They just like to talk, speak to you, see how you doing, and carry on with their day. I'm not thinking nothing of it. Cool, right? So he comes over, he speaks. So I'm like, hey, by this time, like I said, I know his name. So I was like, oh, hey, Preach, like, you on a computer? He's like,
Oh no, I didn't want no computer. I was just coming over here to see how y'all day was.
so we like, oh, okay, like, we doing good, like, da da da. We have small talk, right? So, we talking, everything is fine, no big deal. So then Preach tells me, he's like,
Hey, like I was looking for you yesterday. You wasn't here.
so I'm like, okay. So, I'm just kind of looking at him like, well, what you was looking for me for? Because it's not like I supply you with any type of specialties. Like, if you need a computer, anybody can give you a computer. So, I'm like, oh, why you was looking for me? And he was just like,
Oh, just 'cause I want to see your beautiful face. Like I didn't see you yesterday. Like, do you not work on Tuesdays?
so now my third eye's kind of looking a little, huh. So I was just like, I'm like, every day is different because I'm not about to tell you I don't work on Thursdays because, like, why do you want to know my schedule? So I'm just like, well, every day is different. But I'm like, what did you need? Like, did you need something from me? Like, why was you looking for me? And, of course, like I say, he just was saying, like, he wanted to see my face. So I already took that, like, okay, now I'm about to start shutting down, like, the small talk because what do this 55-year-old want? What at the time I was probably like, I was like 19, 20 years old. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, what do this 55-year-old want with a 20-year-old? Like, what do you want from me? You did say I was cute. Okay, I'm not interested. It don't matter. But I was still being nice because just because he think he's that I'm cute, I'm not going to just be mean to him. He haven't done anything too weird. So, cool. So I was just like, I tried to end the conversation. So I was just like, yeah, I work different days, but have a great day. Like I gotta finish this homework. Try to like cut him off, right? Thinking he would understand that I'm trying to end the conversation and move on. He was like,
Oh, what is your homework on? Like I probably can help you with it.
I didn't I don't think I asked you for any help, sir. I don't need any help. Like I'm just trying to focus. So I'm like I don't need any help with anything. I'm just studying. I have flashcards because I really was studying for like my psych exam. So I just have flashcards. You know how you write the question on one side, flip it over, you got the answer. So I'm literally in the middle of just writing the stuff down. Like I'm not even practicing the flashcards yet. I'm still writing them from like our she my teacher used to give us a review of what's on the test. So I'm still looking at the review and writing the questions on the flashcard. So I'm not even studying yet. So y'all, as I'm doing that, you know how you got a stack of flashcards, you writing it, and then when you're done, you move it over there, you write it, move it over there, like in a done pile. So I was just like, I'm not studying yet. I'm still writing my flashcards. Preach reach over and grab the stack of my done flashcards, and he was like,
Oh, okay, come on. I'm about to quiz you. What is the definition of REM sleep?
so I'm like, I haven't studied yet, so I don't know. And as I'm saying that, I'm reaching to get my flashcards back because why would you snatch my flashcards? Like, why are you touching any of my things? So I reached to grab it back, and he was like, he started playing, like, when you reach for something and people like jerk back and stuff. And he was like,
Come on. I know you know the answer. I know you got the answer in that smart, beautiful head of yours.
I was like, preach, put my flashcards down. I was like, I'm not playing. Like, put them down. So he was like,
All right, I'm gonna give you some more time to study, but when I come back tomorrow, you better be prepared. I'm gonna quiz you.
okay. So he walks away after sitting my flashcards down, and I look at my homegirl like, it 2 plus 2 is 4, right? It's not just me, right? And she like, girl, that shit was weird as hell. What's wrong with him? I'm like, okay, I'm just making sure I'm not the only one that feel this little, you, like he definitely did too much, right? So we talking about it. So I'm like, and he talking about when he come back tomorrow, he gonna be looking crazy because I don't work tomorrow. Because now today is Wednesday. I don't work on Thursdays and I don't do weekends either. Like I don't work on Fridays either unless I pick up a shift. So really, I wasn't gonna be back here until Monday, of course. So you ain't gonna see me for like 4 or 5 days or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, let me stop talking to him, like, cause that just gave me all weird vibes. I didn't appreciate him picking up my flashcards, and just keep calling me. Like, I just didn't appreciate all of that stuff, right? So cool. He go. So normally, I think I told y'all this before, but just in case you guys don't remember, I used to go. I used to come back home to my city, like where I'm from, Detroit, a whole lot. Like I used to always drive back home on the weekends. Like if it was nothing going on at school, I would drive back home just cause I'm family oriented. I love my family. I love being back home, and I have so much family, so many cousins. It's always birthdays, and it's always something going on. So I will always drive back home on the weekends if nothing was going on. That's the reason why I only worked like on Mondays and Wednesdays, because I don't have any classes after Wednesday. So sometimes I'll leave on Thursday, spend the whole weekend at home, and come back Sunday, or I'll come back Monday, depending on, because it only took 2 hours to get back to my school. So sometimes I'll leave at like 6 a.m. on Monday, get back here or get back there at like 8 a.m. and then go to work and stuff like that, right? So cool. So I was supposed to go home that weekend, but it was somebody's birthday, and it was like a little popular person birthday on campus, and he was having a party. So I'm like, oh, his parties always go crazy. Mind you, when I would go home, it just literally would just be because, sometimes it's something to do, but like I didn't have to come home. So when my roommate called me, like, I want to go to such and such party Saturday, I'm like, bet, I'm going to just stay here, right? Like, I'm going to just stay. I don't got to go home. It's no big deal, right? Cool. So I decide to stay on campus. Or so I decide to stay, at school, right? So cool. Since I'm deciding to stay, I might as well make some money, right? So I knew I wasn't coming in on Thursday, but this girl posted her shift for Friday. Like she had a shift literally from like 3 to like 6 p.m. So I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't got shit to do. Let me pick up this 3 hour shift, make these little couple dollars, and carry on, right? So mind you, that shift was at the Computer Lab B, right? Okay. Mind you, everything else I was talking about with Preach was at Computer Lab A. Okay. So I pick up the shift at Computer Lab B. Cool. So I'm at that shift. I picked it up. I'm working. I'm over there talking to the other person working. We chilling. Mind you, sometimes like if we ran out, like if Computer Lab A ran out of like paper, or they didn't have a shipment of paper come in yet, or they need staples or whatever, if they don't have any at Computer Lab A, they'll call Computer Lab B to see if we have inventory, and then they'll just come pick some up until like the new inventory comes in, right? That makes sense. So Melissa, I'm gonna just say her name because she don't matter. Melissa calls Computer Lab B to see if we had paper clips, right? Because they didn't have none over there. And this is a computer lab, so we have to be fully stocked for whatever the students may need, right? So Melissa calls Computer Lab B to see if we had paper clips. Mind you, Melissa is my homegirl. I work with her all the time, so she know me. So I answer like, hey, because at this point when the phone ring, it could be a student, it could be anybody. So you still gotta answer it, right? So I answer like, hi, this is Computer Lab B. How can I help you? And Melissa like, okay. I'm like, oh, hey, Melissa, what's going on? She was like, oh, I thought you wasn't working today. So I'm like, yeah, girl, I done picked up a shift. Somebody didn't put it up on the board, so I picked it up. She's like, oh, okay, that's crazy because one, I'm calling because we need some paper clips. I was going to see if y'all have some. And two, you got some flowers over here. So I'm like, what? Some flowers? She like, yeah, you got flowers over here. Got your name on here. So I'm like, well, what does it say? Because mind you, at that computer lab, at both, as a total, we had two K's, and then we had a McK. Let's just say it like that, right? So it was like, so McK still went by K2, and then you got the two other K's. So I was just like, you sure? You sure they for me? Because I had some little boos I was talking to, but they was rinky dink boos. Like, none of them boos gonna be sending me no flowers because they ain't got no motherfucking sense. So, okay, so they won't go send no flowers. So I'm like, are you sure it's from me? Because the other K, she has a boyfriend. Like, we work together too. She had a boyfriend. So I'm like, you sure? Do it have my initials, like my last name or whatever? She's like, oh no, it just says K. And I'm like, oh, girl, them probably not mine then. I'm like, that might be the other K. She got a boyfriend. So see, if they hers. So Melissa was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. And I looked on the schedule, so she coming in after me. So I'm going to just leave them here and see, if they hers. So I'm like, cool, whatever. So I end up telling her we got the paper clips. So I just wanted to see the flowers. So, either if they need something, either Melissa could come over here to get it, or I could, go over there and take it to her. So I'm like, let me go take these paper clips to them so I could see these flowers. So I told the person I'm with, like, I I'll be right back. Of course, they don't care because it's not like the computer lab is something busy that you have to have two people. You don't. So we used to always be playing. Sometimes if it's real slow, we'll be in the back taking a nap. It's not a big deal. So I walk over to computer lab A. I go see Melissa. I'm like, hey girl, here go the paper clips. And I'm looking at these flowers. So yeah, the note was just like, because I think you're beautiful, K. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, I was like, I don't even talk to nobody that even be on this type of time. So it's probably for the other K, probably from her boyfriend and stuff. Like, they super in love. Every time we work together, she can't stop talking about how romantic and nice her boyfriend is. So I'm like, it's probably for her. Whatever, it don't have no last name. Cool. It is what it is. So fine. So I leave or whatever. That's fine. The flowers is left on like it's on the desk, but the desk is behind like the computer lab. Like where we sit at is behind the desk basically. So it's like we sit behind the desk, but it's a small table behind that desk. So the flowers was just sitting there. So cool. I dropped my paper clips off, talked to Melissa for a minute, and then I head back to computer lab B. Right? Cool. I worked that shift. That's done. Mind you, that's a Friday. So the weekend goes by. We have a little weekend. Everything is great. I come to work on Monday, right? So I'm already kind of anticipating seeing Preach because, like I said, he be just in here, like passing through classes. So I know I'm going to see him. But my thing is, when I see that hat coming through that door, because I told you he had that long brim hat. When I see his hat walking through the door, I'm just like, I'm going to walk up and go to like the back room, like where we sit back there to eat at. I'm going to go back there. That way he don't even need to come to this front desk and talk, right? So mind y'all, when I came in, the flowers were still sitting on the table, but I didn't think nothing of it. I'm thinking like maybe Kay did come in for her shift, so she never got it. I don't know. These ain't my flowers, so I'm not even worried that the flowers are still sitting on the table. You get what I'm saying? So when Preacher walks in, he's coming over. I get up, I go to the back, and I sit in the back for a minute. You know, because my homegirl already knows, like, I ain't trying to be bothered. Preach come to the front desk anyways. So, you know, my homegirl's like, hey, Preach, can I help you? And he's like,
Oh, I was just looking for a K. Can you tell her to come out here?
so my homegirl was like, no, she on break right now. Like, she's talking on the phone. Like, you gotta wait. So this dude preached like,
Well, how long is the break?
so my homegirl was like, sometimes, like, if you only work a couple hours, you might get a 15. If you work the 6 hours, you might get a 30, whatever. So my homegirl was like, it just depends on how long she works, so I'm not sure. And Preacher's like,
Well, what was her shift today? What time she get off?
like trying to figure out what hours I work to see if I'm taking a 15 or a 30. Mind you, the door is shut. I can hear though. Like I can hear clear as day. It's like you shutting your bedroom door and somebody talking outside of your door. You're going to hear it clear as day. The computer lab is not that big. Well, the computer lab is big, but your section where you sit behind it is not big. So I'm clearly hearing him and I'm in the back behind the door like, what the fuck? Why is you talking about how long I work? Like, what are you talking about, sir? Like, just go about your business. Why is you even looking for me? So my homegirl's like, I just got here, so I don't know. Like, and I'm not about to ask her. She's on the phone. So if you need anything I can help you with, then cool. If not, have a good day. So he's like,
All right, just can you just find out if she got the flowers that I sent her?
mind y'all, like I said, the computer lab sits up here. We had a small table, but the table was behind the desk that sit low. So if you come behind the counter, you can see the flowers still sitting on the table, but on the opposite side, you can't see the flowers because the table don't sit as high as a computer lab, little desk is. So he didn't see his flowers. But as soon as he said that, I literally thought like, those flowers is for me. Oh my God, like what the fuck? Because of course he's not gonna put my last initial because he don't know my last initial. So why would he put that? So I'm just like, oh my God, like what is going on? So my homegirl base was like, okay, yeah, like I'll ask her. He leaves, right? I waited a couple minutes back there because I'm like, I don't need him to spin a block and try to come back this way. He leaves. I come out and I'm like, oh my God. So mind you, my homegirl already knew about the flowers because when we sat up there was talking, I was already telling her, just in conversation, just telling her. So I'm like, girl, like, I guess these flowers really is for me. And we just gagging, y'all, like literally gagging. He leaves. I finish my shift, right? Now, I had a meeting to go to. Like I normally don't have classes, like I said, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but this Tuesday I had a meeting because I was trying to apply for this position to be a TA, a teacher's assistant. With my degree, I had to, in order to graduate, one of my requirements was to be a TA, and I really wanted to be a teacher assistant for abnormal psychology. So I really wanted that. So I had to go to the meeting to meet with the professor, so she can get to know me and all that other stuff, right? So the meeting was late because she has classes throughout the day. So our meeting was at like 7:30 ish, right? We were there for a minute because the one thing, and I got the job too, but the one thing I loved about her, and because I took her class first, and then once I seen the way that she taught and the way she moved, I really wanted to be her TA. So I got there like 7:30, whatever. I go to the meeting in her office. We talking, and she just like me. We talk too much. That's one thing about me. I can go, I can go, I can go, I can go for hours and hours and hours and hours. I talk too much, which is why I'm in this field right now. But yeah, so the meeting was at like 7:30, but we didn't leave till like 9:30 because she had already told me I got the position. She really liked me and blah blah blah. But we just kept relating one thing to another, and oh, you from here? What do you like about psychology? Oh, I like this, I like that, this and that, and we just relate and we just talking. So I didn't get out to 9:30. Andrew, I lived at the center. The center, some apartments that's off campus. Well, the reason why I chose this particular apartment off campus is because we had our own bus. And when I say bus, it's not the city, but not that it's anything wrong with the city bus, but basically when you go to college, they have all these different buses lined up. At least my college did. Even if you lived on campus, you take the bus to go to like your dorm, to go to the lunchroom, the cafeteria, the parking place. Like it's these buses. I picked my particular apartment because we had our own center bus. Because like I said, I lived at the center. So we had our own center bus that was taking you from campus straight directly to your apartment. So that's why I picked those apartments. Because I had my car, but like I don't want to drive. If I can save gas and just ride the bus every day, I'm definitely about to. This school getting enough of my money already, so I ain't about to keep filling up my tank just to come to campus. No. So I took the bus. Of course, the bus is still running. I think they had stopped at like midnight or something like that. So I had got off. I had got out of there at like 9:30 ish, like almost 10 between those times. So I'm kind of walking from like the back of campus all the way to the front to get to the bus. Right. This is normal for college students to walk around with their headphones in. Everybody walk around on campus with their headphones in, playing their music because everybody just in their own zone. They have their own vibe. They in their own lane. They in their own bubble. They playing their music, getting from point A to point B. So it's not abnormal for you to be walking around with your headphones. I know y'all think like, well, it's dark. You need to be able to hear, be on your P's and Q's. That's why I'm making this video because at that time I'm thinking I'm safe, I'm good. I'm on a college campus. Everybody is here to do the same thing. Get an education, probably start a career, have a little fun. Nobody is on no demon time. You get what I'm saying? Like nobody on no shady stuff. That's just kind of what you think when your mind is so innocent. Like that's what you think. So I'm walking around with my headphones, okay? I got my book bag on, I got my headphones in. I'm walking. Mind you, like I said, it is dark, but you still got people coming from the gym. You got people coming from the cafeteria. So the campus is not dead. Like, it's still people out, right? So, mind you, even though I got my headphones in, my headphones is still never super loud, like to the point I can't hear nothing. It's still low enough that I can hear, but, I can hear my music too. So, I'm vibing. I'm in my zone, cool. I'm walking to campus. So I'm walking past Computer Lab A because Computer Lab A is more so like in the middle of campus, and then Computer Lab B is kind of like ducked off on the side. So I'm walking past Computer Lab A, of course, because I gotta walk past there and other buildings to get to the bus stop. Cool. I'm walking past. I got my headphones in, and it's like I heard something, but like I'm not thinking. I don't know. Like, it's like I heard something, but I don't know if it's coming from my headphones or if it's just the people that's walking by. Like, I can hear people talking, but you got people walking past me and everything, so it could just be them. So, like, I turn my music down. You know how you kind of like listen? So I'm like, I thought I heard something. So, whatever. I go back to walking or whatever, and it's like I hear somebody like, K, K. I'm like, so at this point, y'all, I know y'all gonna be thinking like, girl, you should have ran, should have walked fast. I took my headphones out and I kind of just, I pulled a certain person that be in the movies. I ain't gonna say nothing else about no skin tone over here because y'all just, ugh. But y'all know them people that be in the movie that be like, hello, anybody there? I kind of pulled one of those because I took my headphone out and I looked around. I was like, oh, just hearing stuff. I don't know why I think I'm hearing my name or whatever. So, okay, cool. So, mind you, I put my headphone back in, but I just turned my volume all the way down because I'm just like, I'm just walking. And somebody was like, Kay, hey, Kay. So, I'm like, now I know, I hear something. Like, what is going on? So, I'm like, who calling me? Literally just said that. So nobody was saying nothing. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. Now at this point, I'm just like this. I'm walking fast. I'm like, fuck it. Let me just walk fast. I'll call my sister on the phone because I'm like, I'm like, girl, it's dark on campus. I'm trying to get to the bus. I don't know, something going on. Let me just get on the phone. I get on the phone, cool. I'm talking to my sister with her, so I'm telling my sister, and she like, yeah, hurry up and get to the She like Facetime me because at first I had just called her. She like Facetime me because if something go on, like I need to be able to at least see something or whatever. So I Facetime her. So now I'm holding my phone up and I'm just talking to her, and she like, yeah, hurry up. You got your mace on you. You got this, cool. So I'm hurry up. I'm getting to the bus stop. I get on the bus stop, cool. Nothing happened. So I ain't thinking of it. I'm like, maybe I thought I heard my name, but it could have been somebody else yelling for another K. I don't know. I'm not sure. It is what it is. Cool. That's Tuesday, y'all. Wednesday, I'm back at work working my regular shift. Me and my homegirl know this is a routine. If preach come, this is me ducking underneath the table, okay? Like, I don't need no problems. I don't want to see him. He just need to move it along. Cool. So this time, listen, y'all, this how slick Preach got. Preach used to come from this side of like the doors that's over here. Mind you, it's several ways to get into this computer lab, okay? You could come from downstairs, come up the elevator, and come this way. You could come from those doors over there, or you could come from the library entrance from that way and come this way. Okay, so that's three ways. Preach always came from this way, right? That's how I was able to see him and hide. So I always look around this time. It's like, oh, okay, this is the time Preach come. So I'm looking at the doors, and as soon as I'm gonna see him, I'm gonna hide, right? This slick motherfucker. Preach don't come from that way, y'all. Now he coming from the library entrance, right? Mind you, it's two of us at the computer lab. Normally, it's kind of like we sit this way. So, like, if I'm over here, I'm sitting this way. So, more so, my vision is this way. And my homegirl sit like this way. So, her vision more so is that way. So, I'm always over here on the left, like spinning in my little chair. So, that's why I always see him walking in. So, because he came from this way, when me and my homegirl talk, I'm more so turned her way. So, he walk and he's coming up, and all I hear is,
Hey, beautiful. I've been looking for you.
excuse me? So preach, I turn around my little chair. I'm like, oh hey, what's going on? He then snuck up from behind me, coming in from the opposite way. Sir, what are you doing? What are you doing? He must have caught on to me not wanting to see him, so now he done snuck in behind me. Okay, cool. So now I'm forced to talk to him because, like, what I'm gonna do? Get up and run? I know some of y'all probably like, yeah, get up and run. But like, at the end of the day, it's like y'all know that stage between it's weird, but he still haven't done nothing. So like, I didn't want to be super mean to him yet because yeah, he said a couple things that were weird and maybe uncomfortable, but he didn't necessarily cross any boundaries yet. But he kind of did because he's sending me flowers. But I'm like, maybe he just liked me and that's his way of showing interest. But he hadn't did anything that was just like so uncomfortable to the point that like I feel like my life, is it like it wasn't that. So I didn't want to be mean and just run away. But what I did do is when he came, I was just like, oh hey preach, I hope you having a good day. And I started to get up and I was like, oh girl, I gotta go run to the bathroom real quick. Like, can you cover it? And she was like, yeah. So I go to the bathroom, y'all. I'm in there like time just sitting there like I ain't gotta use the bathroom. So I'm in there, mind you, I took my phone. So I'm texting my homegirl that's out there and I'm like, is he gone yet? Is he gone yet? She like,
Girl, no, he got a computer.
mind you, preach every time he come in here, he never sat at the computers. Like he would never come and get on the computers. He literally would come through just to talk to us. So she was like, he checked into a computer. So I'm like, bro, I can't stay in here my whole shift. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I can't do that. So I'm like, okay, maybe he on the computer and he actually working. He about to do some homework. Maybe. So of course, after like 20 minutes, since he didn't leave, I had to come out the bathroom. I come out the bathroom. I sit back in my seat or whatever. And it's like, as soon as I sit down, here go preach. So I'm like, yes, preach. I'm like, what's going on? And he was just like,
Oh, nothing. Like, I was just trying to see how your day was going.
I'm like, my day is fine. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm sorry, I was giving a little bit of like a little attitude because I'm just trying to keep it short with him. I'm like, what's up? Like, do you need anything? Like, I'm trying to work. Like, I always have books open anyways, just cause. I'm like, I'm trying to work, like. And he like,
Oh no, no, no. I don't want to interrupt. Like I was trying to call you last night and it's like you didn't hear me?
so I was like, it took me by surprise. I'm like, what you mean you was trying to call me last night? I'm like, you don't have my number. He like,
No, silly, not by phone. I was yelling your name last night.
I was like, what? Mind you, I'm not even thinking about the times that I thought when I was walking back from my meeting because I really just thought it wasn't for me. I'm like, oh, this somebody else. They calling the wrong person. So I pushed that out of my mind. So I was like, I'm sitting here thinking like, wait, what you talking about? He was like,
I seen you walking late last night. I was calling your name and you didn't answer me.
so now I didn't put two and two together, right? I'm like, what? So I was like, well, what did you want? Why was you calling my name? He like,
Oh, I was just gonna walk with you. Like, you shouldn't be walking by yourself at night on campus. Like, you too pretty for that.
so now the red flag is definitely like dinging off in my head. So I'm like, oh, I'm good. My boyfriend was waiting for me. So like, don't worry. Like he was waiting for me at the bus stop. Do y'all know? And this is what scared me, y'all. Do y'all know he was like,
What boyfriend? I didn't see no boyfriend waiting for you. I seen you get on that bus by yourself.
what? I'm sorry, what? I'm like, what you mean? He was like,
Yeah, like I walked to the bus stop too, and like I didn't see nobody waiting for you. Like I seen you get on the bus by yourself.
so I'm like, well, what you go to the bus stop for? Like, was you about to get on the bus? And he was like,
No.
hold on, y'all, my bad. Hmm. What? Are you serious? Who was trying to jump you? Whew. Okay. Do I look the same? I don't know if I'm gonna keep that last clip in, but if anybody asks, I've been here recording all day. Okay, okay. But anyways, what was I talking about? So I had to put two and two together that this man literally watched me get on the bus, and then y'all know when it's like dark outside, and when the bus open up the doors, it lights up, so you can see like somebody getting on the bus by themselves. So I'm like, not me trying to lie, and this man go catch me in my lie, I guess. So I'm looking at him like, what you mean you see me get on by myself? And if you wasn't about to get on a bus, why was you over there by the bus stop? Like it's no reason. Like where you park your car at, like if you was to drive the campus, that's on a different side of where the bus is at. So it's not like you can say, oh, I was walking to my car and I seen you get on the bus. No, you don't even go that way to go to your car. So what are you doing, sir? So now I'm looking at him like kind of crazy. And he was like,
That's okay. I'm just glad that I got to see you today. Like, do you have any plans when you get off of work?
so I'm like, I have classes, because mind you, I do. It's Wednesday. I got my classes. So I tell him that, and he's like,
What time are your classes done?
so I'm like, why, sir? I'm like, listen, I said I had a boyfriend, so I'm not sure where you're getting off with that, but I'm like, I'm confused. I'm like, why does it matter? Like, what do you need? He's like,
Oh no, I was just asking, like, cause maybe I could see you outside of work.
no. No. I'm like, no, I don't think my boyfriend would like that. So it's none of that. Like, I'm like, you're starting to kind of make me feel uncomfortable. So, just enjoy the rest of your day. I have a man, I have a boyfriend. So I'm not interested in anything. Like, I appreciate you, sending flowers. I appreciate you thinking that I'm beautiful. But I'm like, I'm just not interested. I said it real nice, right? So he's like,
A boyfriend? Oh, that young puppy love. I'm not worried about that.
I'm like, you don't have to be worried about it. I am. So if it's a young puppy love, then that means I'm too young for you. So why are you even trying to talk to me, sir? Like. So he tried to have some more chit chat, and I literally like stopped talking to him, looked into my homegirl, and I was like, I gotta go. And I literally walk to the back or whatever, and I'm just like collecting my stuff. And Preach starts walking away. So I'm like, good. Like, I wasn't even going nowhere, y'all, but I'm just trying to get him to leave. Like, why are you being weird? So at this point, my friend is like,
Girl, yeah, he's stalking you. Like, what he talking about? He was watching you get on the bus yesterday. Like, he's starting to do too much.
so I'm like, yeah, it's starting to like weird me out. So yeah, I let that day go by, right? I already know, y'all, why you didn't call the police, why you didn't press her, all that. I know that. Don't ask me why I didn't do stuff, y'all. Literally, I don't want to see no comments on why I didn't call it. I don't want to see it. I'm literally telling y'all the things that I did wrong in hopes that you guys won't make the same mistake. So I don't need y'all to tell me why I didn't do something. I didn't do it. It was 4 or 5 years ago. So don't ask me why I didn't do it. I don't know. Clearly, like I wasn't thinking straight, okay? But anyways, yeah, so that day goes on. Mind you, that's a Wednesday. So I'm not working, no more this week. I'm chilling. I didn't even go home this week either. Like, I just stayed at the house chilling. Like, nothing was really going on. So the weekend happens, right? Cool. Now, here comes Monday again. I am anticipating seeing Preach. I know he gonna come. Now he got me looking both ways, right? Because now I don't know if he coming from this way or that way. So I'm looking both ways. Fortunate enough, I don't even see Preach this day. So I'm like, oh my God, yes, he did not come in. It's the end of my shift. I haven't seen this man. So I'm like, okay, maybe he got the hint, right, y'all? He got the hint because maybe what I told him last Wednesday, it registered in his head that I wasn't interested. So maybe he about to leave me alone. Cool, I'm living life. I'm happy. I'm good. All of that, right? Wednesday come. No Preach. Hallelujah. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm ecstatic. I don't see Preach. Everything is good. I'm thinking, like, okay, for real. He left me alone. Everything is cool. Everything is good, right? Cool, y'all. Y'all know I don't work the rest of the week again. Here come again. Here come Monday. The computer lab A, it was a leak going on. Something was going on with a little leak because it had been raining a lot that weekend. So it was a leak going on. So of course we're in a computer lab. Any type of leak is a no-go. So they shut down this computer lab. They had workers in there like right on it because they have to fix this leak. Because if it pour out and damage these computers, that's thousands of dollars worth of damage. So basically they had told us because of the leak, they shut it down to the public. You have to come to work if you didn't want to, and we wouldn't get paid. So at first I was like, okay, I'm not gonna go in. It is what it is. But somebody had put up their shift for the computer lab B. So I was like, oh, bet, forget it. You know what? I'm gonna just go pick up the shift at computer lab B and go over there, right? So mind you, it's a sign on the door that said the computer lab A is shut down for maintenance issues, right? So nobody who didn't work there could come in. So I'm working my regular, well, not necessarily my regular shift. Like on Mondays, let's say I will work from 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m., right? I couldn't get my exact shift, but I came in at like 11:30 and it was going to be to 3:30. So it was like in the middle of my shift, but like, I didn't get my exact shift. So I go to the other computer lab B from 11:30 to 3:30 shift that I picked up. Cool. I'm over there. So I'm kicking it. I got my feet up. I'm, making jokes with my friends because sometimes my friends will come up there and just sit like in the front and talk to me because, we would just be chilling. I'm having a good time. I'm kicking it, right? Because now I ain't got no worry in the world. I'm not even at computer lab A. I'm at computer lab B. And this is technically not even my shift and I'm never over here. So cool. And I haven't seen Preach in a week. So I'm feeling good, right? I'm over here chilling, laughing, ha ha ha. And it's like I'm turned this way talking to my friend and all I hear is,
Hey Kay, I'm glad I found you here.
I turn around and of course it's nobody else but Preach. Why are you over here, Preach? So I literally asked him, I'm like, what you mean you found me? Why you over here? He like,
I seen that the other computer lab was closed, so I figured you would be here.
I said, okay, I thought we had this discussion already, but do you need a computer? Because now I'm trying to keep it real brief with him and short. He's like,
No, I was just checking in on you just to make sure you was okay. They said something happened over at the other computer lab. What happened?
he trying to get the tea on why it's shut down because it just said it was shut down for maintenance. So if you didn't work there, you didn't know it was a leak or whatever. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, do you want a computer or not?
Oh no, I don't need a computer.
I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then have a great day, right? Because the person who I'm working with now over here, they don't know nothing about Preach because it's not my same homegirl. So they didn't know nothing about Preach. So, I'm like, I walked away, like I walked in the back or whatever. So the guy who I was talking to, he was like, why you being mean to him, blah, blah, blah. So I had to get him the rundown because Preach did end up leaving. But in Computer Lab B, they got these big glass windows, and on the opposite side of the windows is a food court. Like the food court is there. So you can see people eating. So it's like he left, but he went to the food court, so I could still see him out the window. So I came and I sat back down, and I was just like, watching him like out the window because I just want to make sure he leave after he get his food. So I started telling my homeboy like, yeah, this man is like a low key stalker. He giving weird vibes, blah 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 blah. So he like, dang, that's crazy, like So we just talking about that. Cool, Preach leave, right? So actually, I'm gonna get a homegirl from the beginning of name because the girl who always used to see Preach with me, I'm gonna just get her name because yeah. So we're gonna call her Taylor, right? Cool. That night happens, whatever, nothing else. Of course, when I leave, I'm still staying on my P's and Q's. Even though I'm clocking out at 3:30 p.m., I just don't know about him. Like, he just seemed like he's watching me. I don't have time, right? So, cool. I leave at 3:30, y'all. I get off. I'm walking to the center bus, right? Mind you, once again, this center bus only goes to the center. So if you don't live there well, actually, I mean, you could be going there for a friend or whatever. So cool, whatever. But you kind of know the same people that gets on this bus every day because you kind of know who you live with. Y'all, tell me why I'm walking up to the bus stop. I'm getting on the bus. Guess who's on the fucking bus with me? Guess who's on the bus? Preach. Tell me why Preach is sitting all the way at the back of the bus. So when I got on the bus, like I'm all on my phone, I ain't gonna lie, I get on the bus and I looked up and I'm like, so I sit in the front, right? Because like I said, these ain't my apartments. I don't know if you just moved here. I don't know if you got a friend. Mind you, y'all, please don't forget this man is 55 years old. He's old. He's old. But he still got classes, so it still could be projects that he have to do together with somebody. I don't know. Maybe he's visiting somebody. Cool. So mind you, I'm on the bus. I called my sister because I'm like, this dude is on my apartment bus. Like, I ain't never seen, mind you, we like in the middle of the school year. I ain't never see this man ride to the center. But like I said, I'm giving people benefit of the doubt because you could know somebody here. You could have a friend here. I can't say that I know all of the thousands of people that live at this apartment. I don't. So, cool. We get there, we get pulled up to the center, whatever, and you just get dropped off at the bus stop. So I go into the leasing office because I'm not about to go to my apartment so you can see which building I'm going into. I go to the leasing office because, of course, I get off first because I'm sitting at the very front, he in the back. I get off first or whatever. I walk in the leasing office. It's windows. So I'm just in there just trying to see which way he gonna go. Because mind you, we do have a pool and we have a basketball court. But if you're not going there, it's like it's just apartment. So where are you gonna go, y'all? So from the leasing office, I'm just watching him. And you can tell he got off the bus like looking like what he about to do. So I'm just watching him. So he goes this way, right? And he walk around. It's like one big circle. He walk around and he goes out of eyesight. So I'm just sitting there for a minute, like getting little chips and stuff. They always have like little snacks down there. I'm getting snacks or whatever, and I'm just waiting. But I can't see him no more. So I don't know if he actually went into an apartment. If he didn't, like I don't know what he did because now I can't see him. So I waited a good 20 minutes, y'all. Still couldn't see him out the window no more. He's out of eyesight. So I go through the back of the leasing office that way I can go to my apartment. So mind you, the whole time I'm walking towards the other way where my apartment is, I'm looking around, I'm looking back. I didn't even go in the front door of our apartment. I had to go around to the back because if he's this way, he won't see me go into the back door. So I still had to go around to the back. That way he still couldn't see what apartment I went in, right? So mind you, I get in my apartment. I'm out looking out my window. I can't see him, y'all. He's ghost. I don't know where he went. He could have either really went into the apartments or he could have been like inside an apartment building, like not in somebody's actual apartment, but you know how like it's the door to like the building and you walk up and then go in your apartment. So he could have just been in somebody's building just waiting like the stairwell. So I don't know, y'all. Okay, cool. Well, not cool, but I don't see him, y'all. I still never called the police. Nothing, because once again, y'all gotta understand the type of police don't just, you can't just tell a police officer that something is shady, something look weird, and they gonna do something. No, they're gonna be like, did he physically touch you? Did he come to your house? Did he try to grab you? Did he do this? And I'll be like, no, no, no. They're gonna be like, well, call us when this happened. The police don't do nothing, so why would I call them just to be like, hey, I'm just weirded out? And I know y'all gonna be like, so you can have a record. They don't care. They don't want you to call them until they actually attack you and you dead. Then they want you to call. But when you're trying to tell stuff ahead of time, they acting like they don't care, right? Cool. And once again, I didn't have nothing to say because he could really know somebody in these apartments. So how am I gonna file a report saying I feel like somebody's stalking me when we go to the same campus? Like they could have had the same schedule as me. You never know, right? So I had to just bite the bullet. So I ended up telling, my mom and then my sister, I'm just talking. I never seen him. The next day it happened. Of course, I don't leave the house because I don't have classes or nothing. The next day comes after that, right? Cool. I go to work because it's back open. Everything is cool. They got the leak together. I see Preach, right? But this time Preach comes in and he goes directly to the library entrance, right? He don't look our way, nothing. Cool. I'm thinking he left me alone. Everything is good. Everything is gravy, right? No problem. Now this time when he did that, my girl Taylor, who always be there, she put up her shift. So it was another person there and Taylor had switched her shift to work that night shift, right? Cool. Now I say that because after that day, mind you, Preach didn't say nothing to me. He walked right past. Cool. I'm at home and it's the later on shift, right, when Taylor comes in. Because normally we do the morning type afternoon together, but she had something to do, I guess. So she came in later on in the evening. So Taylor calls me, mind you, Taylor never calls me because this is my homegirl, but this is just my work homegirl. Like we don't have each other, like we don't call each other to talk on the phone. The only thing we text is to see if we can switch shifts and stuff. Like, it's not like a homegirl outside of work. So Taylor calls me. Once again, she never calls me. She calls me and she's like,
Girl, why is Preach up here? Why he come up here asking about you?
so I'm like, bro, what? What he say? What he want? She like,
Girl, he gonna ask me why your friend act like that. Like, why she don't want to talk to me. Like, why she be acting fake. She be acting mean to me. Did I do something to her?
so I'm sitting here like, girl, what? She like,
He is creeping me out. Like, I'm getting weird vibes. I already get off late. So I told the manager to walk me to my car because I just don't trust him.
so I'm like, yeah, you need to tell him, like, yeah, make sure you get to your car safely because he could probably be trying to stalk you next. Like, this nigga is weird. Why are you coming up to my friend? You seen me earlier that day. You walked right past and did not say nothing to me. Now you see the familiar face later on. You gonna come and try to ask my homegirl about me? Don't ask about me. I already made it very clear that I did not want to talk to you and I had a man. So why are you asking about me? Cool, y'all, right? So well, once again, not cool. But so we just on the phone talking about that and just the weird vibes and all of that. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm getting tired of it. So the next time I come to work, I know it's so many times that I'm coming to work, y'all. I'm trying to paint the picture for you, but listen, I worked every week. Next time I come to work, Preach comes in. Y'all already know. Revolving door. He comes in. He walked past. Don't say nothing to me. Go to the library. So like I said, at this point, I'm easing my mind a little bit because he's not approaching me anymore. So I'm starting to feel like he's just weird, but he get the point. He walks that way like he's going to the library, but he turns. He do like the little loop thing right here to come to the front desk, and he walks past the front desk, drops a note on the counter, and keep going and go right back out the doors. So I'm like, what's this note? Mind you, at this time, my girl Taylor is there with me. So I'm like, girl, you get the note. Open the note. Why would he drop off a note? It could be some shit in there. It could be a bomb. I don't know. Like, you get the note. So we over there, like, it was like funny, but it wasn't funny because we like, get the note. Like, we play it. I'm like, you get the note. I want to get that note. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to get the note. I'm going to get the note. Because now that I see he gone, y'all. So, of course, I pick up the note because curiosity killed the cat. Okay, I got to see what it is. I don't want to just leave it here and it's some personal info. I don't even know. I pick up the note and he's just like, the note read,
I'm sorry, beautiful, that I made you uncomfortable. If you got to eat with me, I can make it up to you.
Grandpa. So, so, you, so, so you just not gonna get the memo that I got a boyfriend, even though I don't, you know, and that I'm not interested. You still writing me notes, like you're still being awkward, you're still being weird. Like I don't understand what's going on. So of course I shred the note. We at the computer lab. I put it right in the shredder and I leave it at that. No big deal. At this point, y'all, since I've been there, and I think Halloween, something was coming up. I think Halloween or something. So I've been picking up extra hours for whatever reason, or something I forgot. But I'm picking up extra hours. So now I'm working at Computer Lab A and B like back to back. So okay, so one of my shifts right that I normally do in the morning with Taylor, I had to give it up because y'all know that TA position that I was talking about. We had a meeting during that time, and I couldn't miss it. So I had to give my shift up, but I was cool with it because it was only like a 3-hour shift or whatever, and I was going to pick up another shift. So this boy ended up taking it from me. Cool, whatever, all good. This was my homeboy too, because we used to work together a lot as well. So he ended up taking it. Cool, thank you. So while I'm at the meeting, I go to my meeting, everything cool. I'm leaving my meeting and everything. So I'm about to go home so I can pack me a little lunch. That way I can come back in a couple hours to work the night shift. Because the shift that I picked up was still the same day, but it was just later on that night, right? So I'm going home. On my way home, I get a call. Let's just say from the boy, it's going to be like his name Brandon. I get a call from Brandon, right? But it says Computer Lab A, like he called me from their phone. So I'm thinking like, oh, it's either the managers or something, whatever. I don't know. So I'm like, hey. So Brandon is like, oh, hey, Kay, I was just calling you because I think one of your friends was up here for you. So I'm like, one of my friends, what you mean? He's like, this guy came looking for you. Like he was asking where his girlfriend was at. So I'm like, you sure he was talking about me? Because mind you, when he said that, I'm once again thinking about the girl named Kay from the beginning of the story that has a boyfriend, right? So I'm thinking like maybe her boyfriend was looking for her. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not thinking because he didn't say no older man. He didn't say none of that. He was just like, a guy was looking for you. He said he was looking for his girlfriend. So I'm like, oh, you sure it's not the other Kay? He was like, no, I know the other K boyfriend. It wasn't him. It was an older guy. So as soon as he said that, I'm like, did he have like a church hat on? He was like, yeah, your man looking for you. Like he played it off. So he get the laugh because he was like, okay, Kay, I see you. I didn't know you was getting down like that. I'm like, Brandon, no, that is not my man. I said, this is a weird, creepy stalker. He doing some weird stuff. Da, da, da. So I get him a brief thing like, what did he say? And he was like, oh, like he just was telling me he was looking for his girlfriend and that you normally work this shift. And he like, I just told him basically like you wasn't here today. I was like, okay, good. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I got to get this together. And Brendan was like, you good? Like, yeah, you straight. You sure you straight? Because I don't like that weird shit. I got 4 sisters. I don't play those games. And I'm like, yeah, like, just, keep it brief with him. Like, no, I don't know him. He a weirdo. Da, da, da. Cool. So I'm like, not you asking other dudes about me. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you're a creep. You're doing weird stuff, right? All right, cool. Well, not cool, once again. So that happens, right, y'all? So I come in later on that night, right? Mind you, I picked up the shift for later on that night, and I picked it up at the other computer lab B, okay, where the food court is. So I go in there. I'm still a little bit on edge, y'all, because now I realize that he know to come to both labs looking for me. So I'm just like, I hope he don't come in here, okay? So literally, y'all, that shift happens. I don't see preach. I'm happy because I'm like, okay, I done complete another shift. This man didn't come up here good. So as I'm walking towards the door, right by the door where you come into the computer lab, we got our swipe thing because we just swipe our ID to clock in and clock out, right? So as I'm on my way, so I swipe my ID to clock out and I'm opening the door to leave. As I'm walking out, guess who's about to walk in? Preach. He walks in, so I kind of run into him. I'm just like, my initial response, I'm like, oh, my bad. And then I realized who it was. I'm like, so I just try to go through the other door so I can walk upstairs to leave. And he turns around and try to walk with me. He's like,
Oh, where you going? I was just coming here to visit you.
so I turn around, I'm like, bro, stop visiting me. I'm like, you're starting to creep me out. You're weird. I don't want to talk to you. Stop asking people about me. Stop looking for me. Like, shit is getting on my nerves. Like, I kind of explode, y'all, because you've been asking people about me. You asking my homegirl. You need to talk to Brandon. You keep showing up to my job. You keep at it, bro. What the fuck do you want? So he was just sitting there stunned. Like, it's like he was trying to get words out, but I just ran up the stairs and left, y'all. I'm looking behind me, making sure he's not behind me. I go home. I pick up another shift, y'all. And y'all know who Bubbles is. And if y'all don't know who Bubbles is, then whatever. And I was on live the other day because Bubbles actually has receipts because when this was going down, she was recording and she was taking pictures, looking out just in case I need this information. But as y'all know from the other story times, me and Bubbles is no longer cool. So at first I was gonna reach out just to get receipts for y'all, but y'all, it's not even worth it. I'm sorry, but me and her don't mess with each other. So who the fuck do I think I am? Not talking to people for years and then text them like, hey, you still got those pictures about weirdo? You still got the pictures that preach? Even though I know y'all can be like, well, it can help somebody out if you show his face. I'm not reaching out to that girl at all. I haven't talked to her in like 4 years. I'm not doing it. No. So we no longer cool. But whatever. Bubbles used to work like the midnight shift, as y'all know, because when I stole her car, y'all know she was working that late night shift, right? Okay, so she used to work the late night shift, the little midnight shift, right? Okay, so somebody ended up putting up, like the person who worked with her, he ended up putting up his shift because it was a night shift on Fridays, and I guess he wanted to, I don't know, let me not even act like I know why this man put his shift up, but he ended up putting it up, and not a lot of times to get somebody to work your shift on Friday in that night, it'd be hard because don't nobody want to be overnight at the computer center on Friday. People we want to be out, but since it was Bubbles and this was my roommate and this my homegirl, when she told me like, hey, if you ain't doing nothing, you should come work this shift with me. I'm like, cool, I'll be working with Bubbles. We ain't got nothing else to do. Let me just go work this night shift. We gonna sit there and talk and play all night. And then at night, it normally be really dead because, it's a Friday. So cool, I decided to pick up the shift so I can kick it with Bubbles. We both ride there together and everything, right? Cool, because like I said, at this time, like the buses stopped running at midnight. So when we did the overnight shift, we would have to drive on campus. So cool. So we ride together on campus in our car and stuff like that. We come down there, we go to work. Cool, we chilling. Mind you, I'm really not thinking about preach because I never worked the midnight shift, and I didn't think in my head that he would come at night. Like, he normally really never came at night. It was always during the day when classes was going on. So I didn't even think about him. You get what I'm saying? So cool. I'm having fun, y'all. I can really show y'all the exact outfit that I had on. Well, I looked a mess, so maybe I won't, because I was learning a new dance, y'all. So Bubbles was teaching me the new dance. So we really up just playing, y'all. I'm doing this dance or whatever. I'm playing or whatever. Y'all, I kid you the fuck not. Guess who walks in? Preach. This is what got me about him too. He always walked in when he seen me. He be like, he be so happy. He always got this big smile on his face, which made it even more creepier because why you walking in smiling at somebody who wants nothing to do with you? You get what I'm saying? So it made it even more awkward and weird when he used to do that. So it's like as soon as I seen him, my heart dropped again because mind you, this my roommate Bubbles. So I already told Bubbles about the Stalker situation, the whole nine. So when I literally was like, oh my God, Bubbles, it's preach. So she was already on edge, which is why she had certain receipts, started recording and stuff like that and all that. So at this point, y'all, I snapped. Like literally like a light switch. He couldn't even say one word. Mind y'all, I don't care if he was coming there to really do homework. I don't care. I snapped like a light. And as soon as he came up to that computer desk, he getting ready to lean on the glass. I'm like, you are a fucking weirdo. I keep telling you to stop coming up here during my shift to visit me. I'm about to call the police. You're a stalker. You're a weirdo. If you come up here again, I'm going to have my boyfriend beat your ass. I'm about to call the police. Bubbles, take a picture of him. I'm calling the police on you. You keep stalking me, doing this weird ass shit. Mind y'all, the way the computer desk is higher. So when he came in, I didn't see his hands. Like, I couldn't see his hands or nothing, y'all. So I'm going off. I'm turning up on him. He literally like,
Call the police? I didn't know it was a crime to bring a beautiful girl some flowers.
so he dropped the flowers on the desk. Y'all, I smacked them flowers down. I'm like, I don't want your fucking flowers. I don't want you to come visit me. Get the fuck out. I'm calling the police. I'm picking up the computer lab phone, acting like I'm dialing stuff, even though I really should. And he's like,
Don't call the police. You don't have to worry about me anymore. I don't want to talk to you ever again.
and he leaves out. I'm like, bro, not you telling me you don't want to talk to me ever again, bro. Like, yes, I'm threatening the police because you're being weird. Stop bringing me flowers. As much as I love flowers, stop bringing me flowers. Stop showing up. Stop coming with this church outfit on, smiling. Like, you're weird, bro. Like, you are fucking weird. Stop stalking me. Like, I could not do it, y'all. I could not. So, literally, he leaves out or whatever, so I have to go pick up the flowers, of course, because I can't just leave them there. I pick up the flowers and I throw them away and stuff. So me and Bubbles just really sitting there like just gagging about it again. And she like, I didn't even know it was that crazy. Like, yeah, if you see him again, I got the footage. We're gonna have to make a police report, like, because now we kind of got actual evidence, even though the evidence we got don't even really like explain or show that he stalked me. It only showed that he came in here with flowers. So like, what really was this gonna do? So needless to say, y'all, once again, I did not call the police. I did not make the police report. I know. Don't be judging me if you ain't what. Don't be asking me why I didn't make a police report. Ask your mama why she ain't called the police on your daddy for all them times he did you. You know what? We ain't gonna talk about that. That's a touchy subject. So ask your mama why she ain't called the police. Don't ask me. Okay? So, y'all, I pick up the flowers. I'm on edge the whole night because, like I said, we work in the night shift. It's dead. Nobody be here on the night shift. So I'm like, at any time, this man could come back and do anything. Luckily, grace of God, hallelujah, he didn't, y'all. That was the last time I seen preach. Okay, I did not see him going forward, not coming into the computer lab because he had no business in the computer lab. He never wanted a computer. He never was there to do no homework. I never seen a book bag. None of that with him. Why are you just walking around this campus? Do you even go here? He never even told me his major, if he was enrolled in classes. I literally knew nothing. For all I know, this is a grown man just walking around on a campus just because he probably lived close to this college and he's just walking around scoping girls out. I literally do not know. And I know y'all gonna want me to post a picture where I should have said something to warn other females and all of that. I didn't, which is why I'm doing it now. Yeah, y'all don't have a picture of him, but listen, if something seems weird, like, do something. Tell somebody. If it makes you feel uncomfortable enough, then yeah, call the police. Make a police report about it. Even though half the time they don't do shit, at least have something on paper about the situation. Like, I wish I would have did stuff more, because then that way he would have stopped harassing me sooner. But like, he really could have just been a creep, or he really could just been a weirdo, or just somebody that was just like, I don't know. Maybe he really was a little creepy creep. Or maybe he was just weird. I don't know what it was, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to be around to find out what it was. But yes, y'all, so y'all walking around on these college campuses, don't think everything is good because, oh, I'm far out. Everybody's new. Everybody's a kid. Everybody's this. No, stay on your P's and Q's. Y'all need to get a self-defense keychain type thing. Make sure you got a taser, some mace, anything. Like, at least walk around with, I don't want to say a weapon, but pocket anything, to something that's going to protect yourself, even those things that you push and then make the alarm noise, whatever. Because, and make sure even when you got your headphones in, it's turned down enough for you to hear what's going around you, okay? Especially when you work walking at night. If you walking at night, always at least try to be on the phone with somebody, tell somebody where you at, get you a buddy. Like, I know it's college, so everybody got different schedules, but if you can get a buddy, use the buddy system. Like, it's real out here. Like, people are getting snatched left and right. And I don't know if that man was calling me that one night to lure me off to a dark place. I don't know. I could have followed his voice and it could have led me over by the bushes. Who knows? So just stay on your P's and Q's. Stop trying to, when you walk in, especially at night, stop looking down on your phone. Look up, look around. While you walking around, be looking around. Like, when you walk to the bus stop, you can be like this. Look around. Don't let people run up on you. Like, just be aware. Stay aware, because this could have went all the way left. It could have been a lot worse than what I said it was. He could have really found out where I live. He could have, you never know. So I'm glad this was just very surface level of stalking, even though it's still not right. But make sure y'all stay on y'all P's and Q's. Definitely pay attention to y'all surroundings. If y'all going somewhere, let somebody know, for real. And carry something on you that can defend you if you ever need it to. Okay, y'all? So, my college babies, I wish y'all, well, everybody who's starting school, but my college baby, I wish y'all a great year. But stay safe. College could be so fun, but it also could be so dangerous. This is when you start to probably, like, if you haven't before, you might start drinking, you might start smoking, you might be under a lot of pressure, and somebody tell you to pop this pill and you do it. Listen, stay on your P's and Q's, because as soon as you get drunk, it might be guys in the next room plotting on you. You never know. And I'm not trying to scare y'all into not having fun, but what I'm saying is, stay with people who either gonna look out for you or it's gonna take care of you, and just be alert. Have fun. Y'all can drink, turn up, party, all of that. Live your life in college, but pay attention, okay? Stay woke. If you see guys just keep offering you drinks and they ain't drinking nothing and they looking at you weird, like, yeah, keep drinking, be a little suspicious about that, okay? Don't keep just drinking, and them guys ain't drinking either. They just trying to get you drunk. Be okay. I also want to add, we need to normalize speaking up when we feel like we are in danger. I know sometimes we don't want to be considered a snitch, or we don't want to tell just in case somebody don't believe us, but we really need to normalize speaking up. You just never know who it might help. Okay, be aware. That's all I'm saying. Just stay safe. Y'all have fun, but stay safe. You know, I never want anything to happen to anybody. But when y'all be on these college campuses, you gotta watch, okay? You gotta watch. You gotta look and watch, y'all. But yes, y'all, that is the end of my story time. I hope you guys really enjoy it. I'm sure this video is really long, but I know y'all like that. I just really want to spread my awareness about being on your P's and Q's, and don't think because you're just at college, you're safe and everything is good. Just watch out. Anything that looks weird or is uncomfortable to you, probably is. So trust your gut. Okay, go with your first instinct. All right, and be safe out there. But definitely thumbs up this video. Comment down below what you think about it. Double check to make sure you're subscribed and your bell notification is on. And y'all already know. Until next time, I'll see you in my next video. Peace.